and this is my big sister Stacey, and this is Sister's Social Call.
We are two sisters talking about everything that sisters talk about. Welcome to our lives. Well, hey, sissy.
Oh, hi.
We want to welcome all of our listeners back to Sisters Social Call and say a special hello to all of our new listeners.
Hello, 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 everybody.
This is episode 40. And this episode, we're going to be doing our Slow Readers Book Club. And because we have so many new listeners, I thought it would be a good idea to introduce you a little bit about our Slow Readers Book Club.
Yeah.
The name Slow Readers Book Club is mainly named for me. I am such a slow reader. I have always been, and Chrissy always finishes the book before me. We try to review a book like once every 6 to 8 weeks, but we picked, and this was the book that we read and will review, The Let Them Theory in episode 31, which was 9 weeks ago. So this is a low-stress book club, and we want you all to join and read along with us. And just a little teaser, our next book is a cowboy romance.
Yeehaw!
So, Chrissy, why don't you introduce The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins and her daughter, Sawyer Robbins?
All right. Well, okay. So, Goodreads overview of The Let Them Theory. In her latest groundbreaking book, The Let Them Theory, Mel Robbins, New York Times bestselling author and one of the world's most respected experts on motivation, confidence, and mindset, teaches you how to stop wasting energy on what you can't control and start focusing on what you truly can. Your happiness, your goals, your life. Using the same no-nonsense, science-backed approach that's made the Mel Robbins podcast a global sensation, Robbins explains why the Let Them Theory is already loved by millions and how you can apply it in 8 key areas of your life to make the biggest impact. Within a few pages, you'll realize how much energy and time you've been wasting trying to control the wrong things at work, in relationships, and in pursuing your goals, and how this is keeping you from the happiness and success you deserve. Written as an easy-to-understand guide, Robbins shares relatable stories from her own life, highlights key takeaways, relevant research, and introduces you to world-renowned experts in psychology, neuroscience, relationships, happiness, and ancient wisdom who champion the Let Them Theory every step of the way. So, sis, why don't you go first and speak about what your thoughts are about the Let Them Theory by the one and only Mel Robbins?
Okay, so first, I have to be honest. I didn't finish the book, but it was divided into 2 parts, which was you and the Let Them Theory, and the second part is your relationships and the Let Them Theory. So I focused my energy on the first part of the full book, so the you and the Let Them Theory, but then I really focused on mastering adult relationships in the second part. So for our regular listeners, you know that I've had a little bit of a wild ride in the last little while with adult friendships. And also when I was back in Regina, I had a hard conversation with my dad. And so this chapter about mastering adult relationships really hit home for me, given some of these things that have happened recently in my life. This probably won't come as a surprise to too many people, but I'm a rescuer. I'm a helper and I'm a rescuer. And those are like 2 of the things that I feel really attached to. But what probably the rescuing is actually doing a lot of is enabling. So I like to be identified with the rescuing and because that seems altruistic and feels like a good thing to be doing in this world. But I tisk enablers. I will be like I'll be the first one to be like, you're an enabler. But this is the issue that I have, is that I think I can really relate to how in adult relationships this can be a problem. So the problem here, and this is from a little quote in the Mel Robbins book, is that when you enable others with money, words, and actions, you don't foster their independence. You hinder their healing. You prolong their suffering, their debt, their breakdown, and in turn your own. So in the let them theory, the part that really struck me and what she said was, people only heal when they are ready to do the work. You'll be ready for them to heal before they are. While your intentions may be good, constantly stepping in to solve their issues creates dependency and frustration and hinders their ability to take responsibility for themselves. You cannot want someone's healing more than they do. Whew, that was powerful for me. Some things are so clear to me in my life about the direction things are going. And I feel like I can step in and help and suggest to make things easier, I feel like, for the people that are on their journey. But this really hit home when she said, you cannot want someone's healing more than they do. Okay. So I think for me, in the solution that she suggested, using the let them theory, you must step back and allow adults face and feel their natural consequences of their actions instead of rescuing, offer support with conditions. This approach helps them take responsibility for their own healing and growth and demonstrates your belief in their innate ability to get better and do better.
I'm just going to interject a little bit in that while we're just having that conversation about it. But the one thing that I've learned in the working with Christine and doing the group work, for you like to offer suggestions and advice. And the one thing that we've learned is to ask, would it be okay if I had said something, if I suggested something, or would it be okay if I said something, like asking the person that you're talking to? It's like, I think that's a pretty valuable thing to do. I'm not the greatest at that myself because I always just offer my unsolicited advice and opinions, but it's something I definitely want to get better at as well.
This problem and solution, I think, really directly applies to me and Dad right now. I really want to help Dad, but we're not in that place. And so I feel like this, where it says you have to step back and allow adults to face and feel their natural consequences of their actions, it hurts to be on the sidelines and watching it happen. I can't intervene. And so that's why I'm going to let Dad do Dad, and I'm going to do Stacey. And hopefully there is somewhere in the middle ground. Like there is. We'll find the balance in there so we can have.
Well, you have to.
Yeah. Like just there is something that will come through, I'm sure, for our relationship to be healthy and move through this little blip that we're having right now. So the let them theory, I don't really think there is anything actually too groundbreaking in this book at all, but I do feel like it really reinforced some things that I definitely need to do a little bit better. That's for sure, with adult relationships. Anyway, sis, how about you?
Okay, well, I actually have the book here because there's a few things I want to talk about.
Okay.
About in the book that I thought were pretty helpful. So, as the same as you, I didn't find that it was very groundbreaking. And I definitely found that we should have maybe read the book as soon as it came out because there was so much hype about it. There was so much talk about it. You pretty much read the let them theory if you're on social media at all, because you see quotes of hers, outtakes from her, interviews. So I really was excited, but then once I started reading it and realized I pretty much have seen the let them theory on social media already, it really took out the pizzizzle for me. So it was a bit of a challenge for me to get through the book because, I understood the entire premise of it. However, I did find something pretty interesting in the book. It really hit home for me because, of course, I'm just coming out of my relationship with my partner. And okay, chapter 20, how every ending is a beautiful new beginning. It says, like, one topic that kept coming up when she was researching the book was how to know when the issues you are facing in a relationship are something that you can resolve versus something that you need to accept. So in that, she talks about this ABC loop, which the ABC loop is apologize and then ask an open-ended question, back off and observe their behavior, and then celebrate the progress while you continue to model a change. So basically, the idea behind this ABC approach is that you lead by example. You apologize to the person for, criticizing or whatever, and ask an open-ended question. And then you back off, and then you just lead by example, and then you celebrate their progress if they're making progress. Is essentially the idea behind that. I'm not going to go through and read the whole thing, but if you want to read it, it's chapter 20. So then there's the ABC loop, and then there's D. And if they haven't made any progress, and then you give yourself a 6-month window. And if you haven't seen any change or progress, or if you have, whatever, then the D is decide if this is a deal breaker or not. If it is not, then her simple solution is end your bitching. And if it is a deal breaker, then end the relationship. I think I honestly, in my relationship with Mark, I actually did that without even knowing what the ABC loop was. But I kind of gave it, rather than 6 months, I kind of gave it a year. So I think that's kind of that whole section really, I could really relate to a lot of that. And it was just a good reminder that I am practicing some good, healthy boundaries, and I really like that tool. So there's definitely some interesting. I have this book is kind of dog-eared in a few spots. Anyway, so there are definitely some takeaways for sure. I think this book is awesome reminder to really stay in your lane in life and to honor yourself. Let them do their thing, but then let me do my thing and not feel guilt or anything like that. So, yes, I think the book is a great reminder. I think a lot of people reading it will probably feel like it is common sense. However, there will be people out there that it isn't. And this will be such a great aha book for many, many, many people. And I'm not saying that it's not a great book. Honestly, it is. But I'd seen so much of the book and read so much about the book and listened to so much about the book prior to it that it just kind of seemed a little drawn out to me, because of course we should have hopped on the bandwagon sooner, but anyways, we did not. So that's my 2 cents about the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I will give it a 8 out of 10 for that, because I love self-help books. And I think if you're ever in a time in your life, or for myself, that I'm not sure of a decision, or I'm in a difficult situation in a friendship or a parent, like whatever, it might be a book to go back to and just kind of be reminded of some tools. I just think it's one of those books that you can always have, and it'll be useful from time to time in your life and at different times in your life. So what do you give it out of 10? Are you going to score it?
What I did read was like 7.5.
Yeah, okay. I think it was a really good timing for the book for you, especially with that goings-ons there with Dad. Definitely, you know, nagging at somebody and constantly reminding them of the change you want to see is super counterproductive to getting the results you want. Best thing to do is kind of lead by example and that kind of thing. So, yeah, there's definitely some really good. I love Mel. She's great. I've OD'd on Mel right now, so I've almost listened to every single podcast of hers, but I've been on a hiatus for the last little bit.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a read here on our next book, on our Slow Readers Book Club book.
Let's introduce the next book, because we're excited about that.
We sure are. And I hope that a few people join us in this book, because we all need a little bit of romance in our lives. The next book in our Slow Readers Book Club is Done and Dusted by Lyla Sage. Now, I have a little story about this. I was visiting my friend Kimmy down in Vancouver, and I went and bought my headphones at the London Drugs. And I was telling the girl that was selling me my headphones that my sister and I have a podcast, and we were doing a summer book club, and that led to a conversation. She's a PhD student at the U of A in romance novels. Wow, this was one of her recommendations, the one that we're going to read.
Wait, Done and Dusted. I cannot love the name more. Done and Dusted. So good.
So, I'm going to read the Goodreads book description of it. So here we go. She's off limits, but he's never been good at following the rules. For the first time in her life, Clementine, or she's known as Emmy Ryder, has no idea what she's doing. She's accomplished everything on her to-do list. She left her small hometown of Meadowlark, Wyoming, went to college, and made a career for herself by doing her favorite thing, riding horses. But after an accident,
Giddy up.
yeah, makes it impossible for her to get back into the saddle. She has no choice but to return to her hometown she always wanted to escape. Luke Brooks is Meadowlark's most notorious bad boy, bar owner and bachelor. He's also the unofficial fifth member of the Ryder family. As Emmy's older brother's best friend, Luke spent most of his childhood antagonizing her. It's been years since he's seen her, but when she walks into his bar and back into his life, he can't take his eyes off her. Despite his better judgment, he wants to do a whole lot more than just look at her. Oh, God, this is the best read already.
Oh my gosh, this sounds delightful.
I know. Emmy's got too much on her mind to think about romance, and Luke knows he should stay away from his best friend's younger sister. He should.
Woo-wee.
But what if Luke is just what Emmy needs to get her spark back? Or will they both go up in flames? This is going to be great.
This sounds like something I'm going to love. Okay, but here's what's awesome about this book. Like, it sounds so great. I can't wait to read it. But today, when I was looking it up, I realized that it's the first book of a series. And then I don't know the names of the next one. I don't know how many there is because the next book had it was like something lasso. And right away I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're gonna be reading them all.
It's okay. So I'm actually excited to read a little romance book. I don't like smutty books. Like, I don't like gratuitous sex scenes in books. And I told the girl at London Drugs this. God, she must have thought I was crazy. But anyways, I told the girl at London Drugs this, and she's like, no, these are not like that. So we'll see, I guess.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good book to read after the Let Them theory because we're going to need to just dial her down a bit.
Yeah. Get out of the
Oh,
self-help.
yeah. And since you were you weren't done the Let Them theory, I slid a book in there called Five Little Indians by Michelle Good. And I've got like 10 pages left. I just couldn't finish them last night. I was falling asleep. But that's a book about residential school survivors. So that's heavy, but a great book. So I will be looking forward to finishing it because it's been amazing. I literally started it last weekend. Not this past weekend, the weekend before, but I just have not been able to put it down. I even took it in my purse with me when I went to the passport office and was reading it while I was waiting. Anyway, so yeah, this will be great.
I can't wait to read this book because I think it's just something.
It'll be awesome.
Let our minds just wander.
Yes,
anyhow,
I love it.
Sissy, why don't you? I think we're at that time of the podcast where we should do our peaks, pits, and plans. So why don't you go first this week?
Okay. Sounds good. I can do that. I have them written down this week, so I'm not totally out of control. I have one kind of pit, but it's also a peak. Anyway, so yesterday, as I just alluded to, I was at the passport office to get my passport done because it's going to expire in December and it still has my married name. So I need to get a brand new passport and get it back to my maiden name. So I go to the passport office. I think I have everything with me. I've got my birth certificate, my old passport. I've got my photos. I've got all my paperwork filled out. And I go to the passport office and I plug my meter for 2 hours because I'm thinking, well, I'm going to be there for minimum 1 hour. Might as well plug it for 2 because whatever. And I also take a screenshot because you can do pay by your phone. So I thought, well, if I'm going to be longer, then I can just add money while sitting here waiting if need be. So I go in and at the passport office, you got to see one lady first. And then she tells you that you have everything that you need. And so you go sit down. So I go in and she says to me, well, do you have your divorce papers? And I said, I don't, but I honestly could not find anywhere online that said I needed them. And I have some clients that did not need them. She's like, nope, you need them. I'm like, oh, frick. Okay, fine. So I first was thinking, what the hell do I do? I got in my car and I thought about it for 5 seconds and I thought, I'm just going to go to the courthouse and see if, like, I think this is where you can get those papers. But I look online and I see courthouse and then court or something. So I called the court number because there's a phone number for this court number. I was like, if you are calling to pay a fine, press 1. If you are calling because it's your court date, press 3. And I'm like, okay, this is not the right court that I need. I need something different. And so I'm like, there's no phone number for the courthouse, but it's on Victoria Avenue. Okay. It's not far from where the passport office is. So I just cruise over there, drive because it's not really within walking distance. And the passport office closes at 4:30. So I go to the courthouse. Yeah, great. Plug the meter again over there. Go inside, go through like a security check like you would at the airport. Go through the security check, go in, get my $10 divorce papers. Great. This is amazing. I'm like, okay, this is the right spot. Took me 10 minutes. We're golden. Go back. Holy crap. My freaking parking spot is still there. Has an hour and 29 minutes still on it. Now I'm thinking, this is amazing. Then I go inside. I show her everything I got. And then she says to me, they might not accept these pictures, but if you need new ones, you can go to Shoppers. And I said, well, that's where I got them done. She's like, well, they might not accept them. The resolution's terrible. And I was like, you couldn't have told me that when I went and left to go get this divorce certificate. So then she's like, well, if you need new pictures, they'll just flag it and then you can bring your new pictures. Okay, great. So then I go sit down. And in fact, there's a client of mine there. So I sit down and I visit with her and her husband. For a while they get called up and then I start reading my book, The Five Little Idiots. And then, I only had to wait an hour. Go up to my lady. First thing she says, you don't need these divorce papers. Are you kidding me? She's like, no, you don't need this paper. She hands it right back to me. I said, oh, the lady at the front told me I did. In fact, I came here and I left and had to go to the courthouse and get it. She's like, oh, yeah, you don't need it. And I said, well, is it okay if I go tell her that when I leave? And she's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So that was the thing. And so it was like just a little, but it all worked out, honestly. And then the photos, she was like, didn't even flinch at the photo. It was like totally fine. No problem. No sweat. She's like, your passport will be at your house in 14 days. Per later will deliver it. Here's your tracking number. Bada boom, bada bing. So that was great. I went up to the lady as I was leaving. I said, just a heads up, I didn't actually need those papers. And she's like, oh, what were they? And I said, the divorce papers. She's like, oh, really? I'm sorry. Like, she is lucky I wasn't some spazzy asshole and freak out on her because it was a bit of an inconvenience. But I also was just like, you know what? I couldn't find my divorce paper. So it wasn't really a bad thing that I got it because I haven't been able, I just don't know where it is. And so I thought, this is just the world telling me, go get that. And it's all good. And don't freak out. It's all good. Whatever will be, will be. I'm not traveling for a few months anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So all is well. So that was just kind of like a pit. It's just like, going to get your passport is always it can always just kind of rattle you up. I don't know why. But anyways, that was like a pit and a peak all at the same time. So, and then I did have another pit a little bit. A friend of mine popped over this week with some really awful news going on in his life. And that really made me sad for him. Anyhow, but I've had some great peaks. This past weekend was my very first weekend at home that I was able to just stay home or like do whatever I wanted around home. Like I didn't go to the farm at all. It felt so good to just do normal stuff. I went for brunch with my girlfriend Kelly on Saturday morning, as I said I was going to. We did a little shopping, went to Chapters, went to Bath and Body Works. We went to Starbucks and then we went for a walk around Wascana Lake, which I don't even remember the last time I did that. It was awesome. The whole day was great and it was beautiful out. So that was really cool. It felt just so good. And you know what? For the first time in so long, time felt slow again. I have felt time has been so fast for the last 5 years, it has felt the days have got like everything has gone by so fast that I just never feel that I have enough time. And for the first time in so long, I honestly felt like I had just time to breathe and to do and to just read my book and to drink slow coffee and it didn't feel like it was rushing by. That was so awesome. I had a FaceTime with my friend Trisha last night. Trisha's a farm friend. She lives up there. They farm up there. So I had a good FaceTime with her. So that was really nice too. And then on Monday night, my women's emergence group, we had a in-person group. And so that was really good as well. And then plans, I don't really have too much for plans. I think we're going to go to my brother's place for Thanksgiving this weekend. We're very unplanned with that, but that's okay. We'll get her figured out. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. And not that anything I mean, not that anything crazy is happening, but on Friday, Stacey and Sean's anniversary, so I'll have to make sure to celebrate them here, and I just want to say that on the podcast. Anyhow, that's going to do it for my peaks, pits, and plans. What about you, sis?
Yeah, pits. I literally have none. I had the best weekend in a long time. It was the greatest gift that my husband was away for the entire weekend. So I had been away for 4 weekends in a row. So 2 weekends in Regina, a weekend in Calgary, and then a weekend in Whistler. All great. But the greatest gift is my husband leaving me in my house by myself for an entire weekend. It was amazing. Like, I puzzled, I baked, I went to the thrift store, I got groceries, I ate popcorn in bed. I came and went as I pleased. I got deep into Love is Blind. Oh my God. The new season
I forgot
episode.
to say that as my peak, too.
So the new season was released, I think, last week. And because Chrissy loves this show, so I thought I should check it out at the very least and give us something to talk about. Well, I was up till 3:30 in the morning on Saturday night, binge watching
That's
Love is
great.
Blind. Yeah, I never stay up. But this actually happened when Sean went away the last time. I binge watched the Dallas Cowboys reality TV show. It is a gift when you can just watch brain candy with zero judgment from your partner. Oh, it's so good. And then another super high for me on this weekend was that Taylor Swift released her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. And I went to Cranbrook to watch her first video of Fatophilia, which was lovely. Oh, actually, I should go back to a pit. Sorry, I do actually have a pit. I just remembered I'm on strike for work.
I was going to say that earlier, but I was like, well, maybe it's not a pit.
Yeah. Kate, anyways, back to Taylor Swift releasing her album. I was deep into it. I drove down to Cranbrook, went to the release party with a friend. So that was great to see the friend. And I've really enjoyed this album. I think it's light and fun and not serious. I thought it would have been a bit more hard hitting because the producers were the producers on Reputation. So I was really kind of I was hoping that it would have been those vibes as opposed to like the album is a lot more cotton candy, sunshine and rainbows vibes. But I'm okay with that because we need more of that too in our world right now. And my favorite song I think on the album is Wish List, but man, do I get a kick out of Wood. I love that she is talking about her partner Travis Kelce's. I think it's hilarious that she would do that. Like girls getting dick down and she's talking about it. I just love that for her so much. So I'm glad she's celebrating that. I love that she used innuendos and double entendres. That's intelligent. There's so many songs out there about sex, and there's a lot more racy and raunchy songs than a song called Wood that has a lot of funny, like innuendos. So, anyways, I will still be deep into this album for a while and continue to listen. Like the earworms are strong. So, anyhow, I think that's it for my peaks. It was just a great, great weekend by myself. Plans. It is Thanksgiving and our anniversary. We are our 17th wedding anniversary is this Friday, October 10th. And The traditional gift is furniture. So we don't have any plans for any major furniture purchases at this point, but we did buy ourselves a new couch at the beginning of this year. So Sean felt like we were done for buying furniture, and I don't disagree with him. We don't need any furniture. So we won't be getting any big gifts of furniture. The other gift theme is shells, and I hope I don't receive anything that are shells.
Shells? Seashells?
Yes, shells. Seashells. Yeah. And I don't need to receive anything of that in any form. They're just not my
I
jam.
couldn't tell if you were saying shelves or
Shells. Seashells. Okay, and then we are having a very full house this weekend, which means my heart is very full. So yes, it's my anniversary, and then it's Thanksgiving, and we have Brother Neil's coming to town, very famous Brother Neil. And then we have friends coming in from Kelowna. The weather is not supposed to be super great this weekend, which means we'll be doing not too much, I don't think. We got some games, we got some puzzles, we got some football. The boys maybe will get out for a bike ride. I don't know. We might try to go to the hot springs. I don't know. Anyhow, but it's a full house and my heart is full with that. So looking forward to it. That's it, sissy. Let's wrap this show up.
That's going to do it for us, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you love this episode, please share it to the people that you love. Spread the love, share the love. We love the love. And you guys know where to find us. You can find us on Instagram at Sister Social Call. You can find me, Krista, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can find Stacey on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I think that's going to wrap it up for us, sis.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Love you, sis.
Love you, sis.